The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus dismissed the crowds and went into the house. His disciples approached him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He said in reply, "He who sows good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed, the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are the angels. Just as weeds are collected and burned up in the fire, so will it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all who cause others to sin and all evildoers. They will throw them into the fiery furnace, where they will be wailing and grinding their teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of God, of their Father. Whoever has ears ought to hear." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Now, the first half of this Gospel, in which he tells about the wheat being sown and the enemy sowing weeds, was 2 Sundays ago. And today we get the explanation of it. The world is the field. That's where we live. We live in a world that's a mixture of good and bad. We live in a world that has good people and bad people. But really, we also have a whole world in which every good person has bad within them. So the question is, how bad is the world? I remember giving a confirmation talk to parents, why it was so important for the kids to get confirmation. And I wanted to explain to them their 8th graders going into the world and what the world would be like. So I got a jar of water and mixed it with a scoop of dirt. And then I shook it all up. And I said, just like a fish is in the sea, your kids are going to be in this environment, which is pure muck. And that's kind of, even though it seems kind of a negative point of view, we do live in a world that has a lot of muck. And so we have to live in it. And knowing that we live in this kind of environment might help us be aware that we could easily get sucked into being just like the weeds. But also, there's that message of hope that at the end, God will get things sorted out, and those that have tried to live a good life, they'll be off to the kingdom. But also, what I mentioned, and even though it's not the parable, every single person has evil within them. The only people that live in this world that don't have sin, whoops, there isn't anybody. And so, that's the reason I always say the greatest blessing in the world, purgatory, because every single person is going to need it. So when we're aware of our environment, maybe we're in a better position to live in this environment and try to hang on to goodness and right. I would say Satan is pretty much winning during this pandemic because it just seems that that dirt that's floating around in that jar of water, at least in my mind, can be reduced to two things: anger and selfishness.